Hello. Welcome back to another vlog. Also happy holidays if I don't make another video after this one, but I'm excited to announce that I finished my sketchbook. Is this weird? Is this a weird position? Like, I feel like I'm Steve from Blue's Clues when I'm like sitting like this, going like, hello, where's Blue? But yes, I have finished my sketchbook for, let's see, from October 2021 to 2024. It's been 3 years since I've had this sketchbook, and it's very telling because some of the stickers have like worn off, and like this is my favorite sticker, and it is brown and it is peeling, and unfortunately the my Do and Donut sticker is rubbing off. Even little Pearl down here has been rubbed off just a smidge, if you can see her. But yes, I've had this book for like 3 years, and I finally finished it this month, and I am so excited to have finally finished it, and now I can move on to my next sketchbook. This is what I'm using for like my next sketchbook. It is it's literally called Handbook by Journal Co. And so far I am not quite sure how I feel about this book, because for one, I do love the size, I do love the color of the green. I've been into green a lot lately, but I am not sure about the paper, because it does bleed through a little bit here, and I've actually started a little bit in this sketchbook, just a smidge, even drew that. So I am not sure how I feel about this book. These books are actually very good for watercolor, but I am very excited to like work in a different texture, and like I could always like turn the book like this to make it like a different sketch field, I guess, drawing field. I don't know how to call it, but like, eh, eh, eh. But compared to, let's see. Here's Miss Ruby. Moleskin. This is a moleskin compared to, my handbook. I guess it is like slightly different than a moleskin, because moleskin is they're very good sketchbooks. It's kind of hard to beat, but anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so comparing this sketchbook to my last sketchbook, I feel like between the two, this sketchbook is messier than my previous sketchbook, which is interesting because I guess with like this sketchbook, I think I was more focused on making like cleaner drawings and just making sure my sketches were like, I don't know. It just feels like these sketches were more neat and spaced out compared to the sketches you're going to see. And like some of the sketches in here are very like spaced out, I guess. So I think with this next sketchbook, I just was like, you know what? I'm going to try to utilize every single piece of this sketchbook as possible just to use it up, because I don't want it to be spaced out like this. I want to show my improvement. So, oh, little sunspot. All right, so let's get started. So I added some stickers at the front, and throughout the book I kind of like the stickers that I'd made, I put them to my book. So I made this sticker, and this one, and these guys, and then and then I'm gonna go get snacks. But yeah, let's see. So at the start of my book, kind of wasn't sure what I was going for, and I remember this was supposed to be like a tattoo that I wanted to get eventually, but I wasn't sure about. And I actually wanted it to be on this arm, but instead I just got this little guy, which is from a flash sheet from one of my favorite artists, Corvidae. They do a lot of like really good anatomy sketches, and they also draw a little bit of gore, but not like blood curdling, make yourself sick kind of gore. It's very, I don't know how to describe it. It's very, it's very, it's good to, I mean, it's good. It's good. Yeah, and then I was still like figuring out like what product should I make, because was when I was just starting my store on Etsy, and I ended up making a Women Love Fish, Me Fear Me sticker, and that's this down here. I'm still debating on whether or not I want to do the Love Flapjacks sort of sticker. And here are some master studies you'd like to see. And this was when I was just trying to like get a hold of my style and stuff like that. And I do have like old movie tickets that I've gone to um, the movies at and kept them in this book. So this book is a little bit more personal than the last, and I may or may not show all the pages, but I'll show most. So, I really like this. I had this idea of Thinker, my character from my old horror comic that I kind of like put on hold. Like if he ever like felt like anxious or something, he could like flash in like colors and stuff, and that could be like I even written down here like saying like under pressure. I just thought that idea was like so neat and cool. And here's Garfield, one of my old OCs, just wearing a studded jacket, and Margot with longer hair. And then over here I'm just like writing down some title names for the coffee shop that they were going to go to in I think the third chapter. And this was when I think, yeah, this was just before. So there was long periods of time when I didn't like draw in the sketchbook, but one of the times was when I ended up quitting my job and was unemployed for like maybe 2 or 3 months. So I wanted to take this time to like draw buildings, draw cars. And I remember sitting in a coffee shop for this. And you know, like sometimes when you like look up and just then go back to looking down at the paper, you're not really like looking at anything when you're looking up. You're just like observing your area and then just going back down, because I don't know, when I overly focus on something, I need to like sit up and actually like look around for a bit, because I'm just like, I've been looking at the page too long. So so there was a time when I just like looked up, and then there was like this family who was like sitting at the table, and they were like, and I think their daughter was like looking at me funny, and I was like, why are they looking at me funny? And I go back to drawing, and then suddenly like they get up and then start walking towards me, and I was like, oh God, why are they walking over here? And they're like, are you drawing me? And I'm like, no. Oh, it's sometimes you got to be sneaky about drawing people in real life. But in that moment I was like, no, you're making me way too anxious. And I'm not drawing you. I'm drawing buildings and cars. Yeah, and this was when I was starting to get into Rise of TMT, and I was thinking about like OCs and stuff. And like I drew a couple of like Leos and Raph and Leo down here. And you can still see like I'm having like all these sketches like still spaced out and stuff. And then I was like designing a character I was thinking about using for maybe somebody to explain storyboarding, like a storyboarding imp. But yeah. More character designs. This was when I went to Lightbox Expo, and I got, yes, so I got this autographed by Jorge Gutierrez, at Lightbox Expo, and it was really awesome to meet him because I really enjoyed um, his movies. Like, I really loved The Book of Life and Maya and the Three. And I remember watching El Tigre, and I had, I didn't know this at the time, but I thought Mucha Lucha was his show, but it wasn't his show. He just did character designs for the show, like through season 1 and season 2. And he's also has voice acted in a couple of cartoons. And like, it was so cool to like listen to him talk about like his journey as an animator and a storyteller, and like how his experiences have like influenced him throughout his life. And it's just, he's a really great guy, and he's super sweet. And I don't know him personally, but he's a great guy. And I even did a little doodle of saying, like, don't draw on this page. It's that special. And then I drew Donnie. Onwards, still drawing characters and stuff. I thought about doing yokai, and I had this idea of an eyeball disco ball at one point, which is fun. And this is when I started. This was actually me like transitioning from working into a tea shop to becoming a delivery driver. And I was trying to figure out like what other stickers that I could make. Like, I'm really into Mothman, and like thought about the jackalope, and like then I thought about like these cool like headstone pieces, and like what if they could be like stickers at the bottom of books. So I thought about that. And like some Callie and Ramona, Callie, they're girlfriends in space. Girlfriends in space, that's the story. Then I drew a bunch of eyeballs. This is kind of where my head is going. Like, after I started like working as a delivery driver, suddenly my brain was like, wow, I'm no longer stressed about things I used to be stressed about. What am I going to do with all this energy? And these are notes that I've took at the next Lightbox Expo that I went to in 2023. And I might do a whole thing about this maybe later. And I also drew this because I went to a museum in Pasadena, and I can't remember what museum it was from, but it was very cool to experience because the entire building was like on this cliffside, but the structure of the building was all held up by clips. So until those clips like rub away and die, or like rub away and decay, I guess, it'll remain a building and hold like very expensive art until then. More notes, different sketches, thought about Callie's design a little bit, making it more maybe a wink towards the 50s. More notes interesting comic. I've thought about like having this laid back robot. Callie and Ramona is sort of a series that I was thinking about turning into for a to like a more adult series, and maybe like putting it up online as a web series, but I haven't really done much for it yet because for one, I'm just one person and I don't really have a lot of money. So it's just thought, or it's just like something that I think about time to time, like, I could turn that into a series if I wanted to. Anyway, this was when I started to discover Pinterest, and I realized, wow, Pinterest is a great place to find references and draw things from and make silly things from. I may or may not make these into stickers, I'm not sure. But this is sort of around the time when I was starting to get the ball rolling on like, man, I got all this energy now. What could I make? And was when I was like taping old receipts onto here, like an old list of things to do, and like old movie ticket. I can't even. Spider-Verse ticket. Spider-Verse 2. I remember watching that and I was like, unfortunately not as impressed as the first movie. The first movie, I ended up going to that movie like 3 times in the theater just to watch it over and over again. And for good reason, because that whole movie, despite being all 3D, is all hand posed. That is wild to me. And then I suddenly started to get into like doing creepy bugs and stuff like that. Oh, this is also around Thanksgiving. I did a turkey. And more notes. More bugs. There's a Garfield. There's a Margot. Mouths that I was practicing because I like this method of just like drawing like a shape, and then inside that shape you just draw the teeth and then like block out everything else in black. More bugs. Practicing patterns, ears, patterns, notes to self. I don't know what that is. Bug. Sticky notes. Swords. This was me just like messing around with different pen pressure, different widths of line weight. I was messing around with the line weight with that. Swords. Because this was when I wanted to do 2 pieces for my cousin and my uncle, because my uncle has a sword collection, and I know my little cousin is super into dragons, and so I did a sword with not a dragon, but with a snake, because they also really like snakes and animals and stuff like that. So this was a very fun thing to do, and I drew a bunch of different swords off of Pinterest and tried to make them my own. This book was pretty much like, I just want to draw a bunch of things and not think about it too much. because I feel like I think way too much on drawings or like while I'm drawing, and it makes me nervous. And if I just put it on the page and see what happens, hopefully that will make me feel better. But like, this was when I made a Rustin Peaches sort of thing, and this is when it starts to become chaotic. Baby Bean, there's a ruby. I'm still trying to figure out how to draw my cat, because since she's a little torty, she has a bunch of sunspots on her. But yes, this is, oh, there's a little Margot. I actually really love that little Margot. Maybe eventually I'll get back to my old webcomic, but for now, I'm just, let me draw my things. And this was when I was redesigning my shop logo, because I wanted to do something different, and I was just drawing a bunch of different skulls, and I ended up really liking this one because I really liked the fire, but I didn't know about this claw thing that holds it. So I ended up, let's see, I don't know if it's on this page, probably the next. I feel like this page is like my most chaotic, because I was just like, wow, I can draw so much. Now I can just like try to fill up the page as much as possible and like squeeze everything in. I honestly really like the way I drew Garfield right here, and also like the fact that he's in the center of the page is really nice. And I drew a bunch of like storyboard imps, and maybe eventually I will get to do a storyboard course showcasing the storyboard imp. But yes, here, this is where I settled on a design for my shop logo, and you can see them right there. And I drew more bugs, did little ghosties. I drew Garfield, which I'm very debating on putting it on a mug. Maybe? Would this be a good mug, Garfield? And then angel sticker, possibility eyeball flowers, maybe hands, cat that has a treat. But yes, this is when the chaos happens. This is when I have started to enjoy drawing again. Like, this year is when I actually learned how to consistently draw every day for a year. And this is when I was designing like a Valentine's Day sticker, but the sticker that I originally had was like these two girls as chibis, but they looked like babies, and I didn't like that, so I aged them up a little bit. And then I thought about making a comic with them, and I sometimes I just have too many ideas, and I just don't go through with them. And more Callie, yes. And I came up with the idea of these like little snail buns, like they're all like gelatinous and stuff, but their eyes are up here, and those are just like little marks. And then they can like go back into their like little tails if they wanted to. They're kind of like slimes, I guess. Slime buns, maybe, or just a Cali chubby bun. Shrimp. Croissant isopod. Break for rubber ducky roly polies. Yes, maybe. A Ramona. Still very fun. Yes. But yeah, this was when I was starting to enjoy drawing again, and I'm very happy that I started to enjoy that. I've been standing up and standing down, I'm sorry. But yes, little snail bun. Progression of Groggy Froggy sticker, which I don't have it on here. I have it somewhere else. And I was also like really enjoying the fact like I now have like all these colorful pens for my disposal. And I think this was when I was starting to slowly get into drawing cars and stuff. Yeah, because this was when like I was looking up cars, and I was still really into isopods at one point. Like I remember being super into bugs and isopods, and that's how I made my creepy bug sticker sheet, like, and I called it Bug Collection, which is now available in my shop. But I kind of do like this like contrast of like pink and green over here. And I also like how like Thinker is like in thought, and like there's all these like pink plants around him. This was when I collected a bunch of sticker backs and put them all on this page, and like tried to make stuff out of this. I still want to make this into a sticker. Maybe this into a sticker. I started making this into a sticker, but then I stopped. And I did make this into a sticker. Also, if y'all see anything that you would like to see me turn into a sticker, don't be afraid to leave a comment, because I would love to, because I would love to make that into a sticker too. I thought this was a very like creative sketch because I was thinking about mental health, and like sometimes when we ruminate about things, like our safe space sort of becomes more harder to handle. So like it's homey, but sometimes it's like you feel like you're trapped, I guess. I don't know if that's a very dark thing to say, but I don't know. It speaks to me, and I might recreate this sometime. Cerberus. Ghosties. Ghosties. I don't know what that thing is. Yeah. Also, I don't know who this guy is. But I like him. That's a really nice guy. Maybe that could be a new character. I don't know. I don't know if I can draw him again. But, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, and this was when I finally got to see Spirited Away in theaters, because the ticket is smudged. But I was so excited to see it in theater. because I saw Boy and Heron in a small, tiny theater. Never got the ticket for it because I bought it online. But I really enjoyed watching it up close in like such a small theater because like nobody was there and I could just see like all the little squiggly lines um of the animation, and that's just really special to me. And knowing that that could Boy and Heron might be like the last movie uh Hayao Miyazaki makes. I'm really glad that I got to see that like in theaters. Like Boy and Heron was the first movie that I got to see from Hayao Miyazaki in theaters. Unfortunately, I was super confused watching it, but while I was watching it, I was just like, wow, this is amazing. I'm so glad I got to see this. Oh. This is when I need to turn it this way. I got kind of tired with drawing from here over, so I started to like drawing it from this way to this way, so I decided to turn it and draw it from here to down here. But I did end up making Spicy Little Guy into a sticker, and like this was still like me just like pouring things onto a page. I do really like this. I drew the hands as a reference, and then I just did a bunch of like glittery dust in the middle. So I might turn that into a sticker. This boy here is because I am into Junji Ito, and I think Junji Ito is a very good artist, and I wanted to try to draw something creepy. And I think it is inspired by one of his characters. I can't remember which boy he drew, but it's just a boy who's very obsessed with I think haunted houses and then making them extremely scary. But I gave him like a weird little bloody knee, and there's a ghost down here saying like, "Do you need a band-aid, buddy? You had a big fall." And he's like angry about it. I don't know. But too far. I am not proud of this spread, but this is where I put a bunch of my stickers here. Like the sticker is from the Bug Collection sticker sheet. Farts and Cries. It's kind of a hints to like lactose intolerance. Frog and Toad. Future Ghost. I was thinking about making this into a hat, maybe. Wanted to draw an explosion. Tried doing this different style of like drawing skulls. This was when I was actually showing one of my coworkers how to draw perspective. And I don't think I really did a good job because like that's 1 point perspective, 2 point perspective, 3 point perspective, and I don't know. But I also drew me in the hot van that I work in. So this page, finally, I actually really like this page. I did draw a lot of references on this page. Like this bug, and these birds, and this dog, cloud, and this car. But like, these hands I know are from one of my favorite artists that I referenced from This was also from a reference. And these sigils from a reference. But I still really like this spread. Like, I did a lot of referencing with it, but I feel like I learned a lot within it. I also really like this rabbit and his expression. And the way I drew myself right here. I feel like I was just like, I don't know how I was feeling. Sometimes you just draw yourself as a weird cryptid sometimes. More exploratory things, more stickers. I really like this bunny. I might make that into a sticker. Sticker from my bug collection, a Garfield. Nervous sticker. Creepy Margot. Bug collection. Cute little Callie. A bug. Different kind of bug. A bat. And yeah. More just pouring things onto a page. This was when I was getting into Dungeon Meshy. I liked how I drew this flower and I drew this cup. I was getting into more what's it called? Wood carving things. And then this is kind of where I started to get the idea of drawing mice with fruit and flowers. And I do not like this mouse. He makes me unsettled and he is very creepy. I don't like him. This badger, on the other hand, he's doing his job. I'm not sure about this caterpillar. I don't like this hand. More thoughts. But yes. Onwards. This was when I was drawing characters and outfits. I really like this Garfield. I didn't really use a reference except for maybe the shirt. The shirt was just like from an ad, I think, but I really liked the shirt, and so I was like, I'm gonna draw this on Garfield. And drew this jumper on Margot. And more mice, more shiny bugs from the bug collection. Lily of the Valley. This was actually of a girl that I saw, like, standing on a street corner, and I was like, don't see that every day. Girl in a schoolgirl skirt. This page, despite everything, I don't like this page. It's so busy, it's so hard to, like, focus on whatever. Or it's so hard to focus on anything. I mean, I really liked how I drew this truck, and I drew this hand, and I drew this flower, and Callie over here, and there's Ramona, who's sitting over here, like, in the corner. Like, I just poured a lot of stuff onto this page. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I think I was excited for getting some new pins. I think. I really love this tiger. This tiger was really cool. And I also like this character that I drew without a reference either. I drew this bat with a reference. I drew that tiger with a reference. Courage! Because Courage the Cowardly Dog was trending on TikTok. And I was like, oh, that's one of my favorite shows growing up. I have to draw him. So, yeah. So I've been I sort of been drawing a lot of references and like studies. And this is for a future illustration that I'm gonna do eventually. But yes. This was when I started to draw a bunch of Garfields because I feel like he's like one of my most unappreciative characters. Like, I always frame him as like this gross character, but deep down, this is pretty much like he's a very like chilled guy, I think. And I think he out of all the people in my horror comic, he comes out unscathed, which is nice. I think he's the only one who comes out unscathed. I drew some bread and some cars and some cats. I do like this page. Drew a ruby, a mole, and a little Kermit down here, because I like Kermit. And yeah. Oh, this was when I was getting into cars and stuff. I joked how, like, it looks like they're pretty much in a parking lot. Beeping and honking. There's a little Kermit. But yeah, this was when I was like getting into cars and studying like how do cars work? Because I don't know. More bugs. I was starting to like get into like orc people. And I drew a building and another like tuk 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 truck. Oh wait. You can't see it. Tuk tuk truck. Drawing feet and stuff. More dungeon meshy. Can't wait for more. And this was when I started to draw people. And I'm really proud of all these. Like, I wanted to experiment with like different features, different body types, because I don't want to be drawing myself all the time, because that's not fun. But yeah, I got all of these references off of Pinterest. And this is like one of my very last pages of like drawing a bunch of stuff. I suddenly got into phones and stuff. another little building here, a little lantern, flower, motorcycle, cats. Drew myself down here. I really like this, actually. I might make that into a new profile picture, but I'm not sure. And then here's a comic that I made recently. I'll let y'all look at it, but I also posted this on TikTok. I haven't done comics in a while, and I think it's because, like, lately, well, for the past several years, I haven't really gotten myself into a routine of drawing every single day. But now I'm like, wow, drawing is actually kind of fun again. I guess I can try to do this again if I wanted to. And this was actually really, like, nice, because I was like, oh wow, I can actually write and invoke emotion, I guess. Yeah, it's kind of a sad comic, but I really enjoyed drawing it because for that, like, being like the last thing I draw, it's kind of nice. And then I drew a little thing at the end of it. It's like, no, Callie, I'm stinky. It's like, no, you're not stinky. And then that's the end of my sketchbook. And then back here, I have all the boys in a bigger form. And here's my groggy froggy and my spicy little guy. Have my capybara sticker on here, and then women love fish, me fear me, and other little stickers back here. And then that's it. That's 2021 through 2024. Yeah. Ruby's asleep over here, but I hope y'all enjoyed the sketchbook tour. I don't know when I'll do my next sketchbook tour. It might be a while, since this took 3 years to complete. But I do hope that you enjoyed this video, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to purchase any of the stickers that I showed you in my book, I have them up in my store. I do have some prints there too that I've made this year. I have I think my mermaids, other little things, but other than that, like, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you are having a great day or a great evening